the menu today is the all-new Crush Back to the 80s Electric Blue Raspberry Soda.
Nice.
I don't know who came up with Blue Raspberry because I feel like...
It feels like a totally manufactured flavor.
Yeah, I don't think there's real-life blue raspberries, are there?
I don't know.
But
raspberries, red.
Right.
So, who made blue raspberry?
I don't know, but they were smart because when I was a kid, I loved blue raspberry, so I really want this to be good, but also there's no zero version, so it's only full sugar.
This feels very sugary,
and
just from the smell.
And before I even taste it, I already this bottle has 280 calories.
280?
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
After this, no matter how good this is, I can never drink it again.
No, I can't drink it again. I gotta go work out as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You gotta go do some interval walking.
I'm regretting this decision to do this food fight.
But it does smell good to me.
It's a very strong smell. You go ahead and taste yours, but
okay.
It's a very strong smell. And the look of it, it's bright electric blue. So it is very in your face with the colors, which I feel like is a pretty accurate representation of the 80s. Maybe that's why they call this Back to the 80s, because the colors so bold.
The design on the bottle is really cool too. Like the Back to the 80s with like the old...
Some of the older fonts.
Yeah. It tastes exactly like when you... think of blue raspberry, it kind of tastes exactly like what you're thinking.
Yep.
But it surprisingly, despite it having so many calories, is not as sweet as I really would have expected.
I think the sweetness hits you after. Like it takes a second. And
I've taken 2 sips. I'm not getting a lot of sweetness, which and in many cases will be fine. But I'm like, if we're doing 280 calories and it's blue raspberry and there's no zero version, just make it sweet. And I don't think it's sweet enough. And I also... Now I wish it was a little more sour. Like it's just...
Sour?
Yeah.
You want sour soda?
Raspberry, yeah, I do. I want sour everything. But this, it's just not enough of anything to make me like super happy. Yeah.
I would agree with that. It's not very memorable, but it certainly it tastes like blue raspberry. It tastes like you would expect blue raspberry to taste. So there's nothing about it that's disappointing or, completely different than what you would think, but it's also just not very remarkable.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yep.
The 80s called, they can have their soda back.
Oh. It's kind of a disappointment because the 80s has so many great things. Including some of the music. I know you don't like the music from the 80s,
I didn't say that. I never said that. I said the 80s is the worst decade of music.
Well, that's pretty much saying you don't like the music. But that doesn't mean
there's not good music. It just means there's less good music that originated in the 80s than in any other decade, and I stand by that.
I just think you're crazy with the take like that.
What is the worst decade for music,
I don't think there is a worst decade.
Yes,
but as far as a decade of music that I listen to the least, I'd probably have to go with the aughts.
Is there a best decade of music?
I'd say the 70s.
Okay, if there has a best, there has to be a worst, because then we're ranking them. And
I'm not good at picking worst. We already know this with first to worst.
I know, I always win. Well, listen, like I said, I don't hate the 80s. I don't hate the music.
Yeah.
It's just not as good as every other decade in the last 100 years.
Well, what is the best decade for you?
I feel like the 60s is the most like innovative, where like music really changed in the 60s.
I think it started in the late 60s with some innovation, but I think the 70s actually were quite innovative.
But obviously, I think the recent decades and the one we're living through right now, pretty good. We got a lot of good songs.
We do have a lot of good songs.
Yeah, nowadays. The quantity of good music now is so much better.
Okay, yeah, I can
just
get
because
behind
everybody
that.
can just use their computer and just put something out.
Which can also be a bad thing.
Speaking of, let's go. We just went back in time with Crush's Back to the 80s Electric Blue Raspberry Soda. You know you can go back in time anytime you want on the Radio U Throwback channel, where it actually doesn't technically go all the way back to the 80s because Radio U wasn't around then, but there is some classic Radio U tracks from back in the day, and there's some covers of songs from the 80s.
Yes.
Including this. This is a throwback song that's a cover of a throwbackier song than that.
Throwbackier.
It's Relient K doing Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is from the 80s, in honor of the Crush Back to the 80s soda. You can find this on the Radio U Throwback channel at Radio